Here are 5 really common mistakes that people make when they pitch animation. Hey there, welcome back to Surviving Animation, your guide to make it in the business of cartoons. My name is Eric Calderon. I'm kind of surprised I haven't done a very simple list like this before of common mistakes, but in my 30 years in the business, I probably read over 7 or 8 thousand pitches in my life. So I see the same mistakes over and over again. And I hope that you can learn something from seeing all the common mistakes that I see whenever I read new pitches. All right, the first and most easy mistake to make whenever you're pitching animation is not clearly stating the format. So the format simply means how many episodes, how long are the episodes, and what are people kind of buying here in terms of actual things. So are you a feature film that's 65 minutes? Are you a YouTube series that is 52 episodes, or episode is 3 minutes? Or are you a traditional TV series that is, 22 or 24 minutes or 26 minutes, and each season is 10 or 13 episodes? Whatever it is, just state the format because buyers want to know right up front, what am I actually buying? All right, the second most common mistake I see in pitches and proposals is really an overreaching or not clearly stated target audience. Now, a lot of newcomers into the business will want to make this wide, really expansive target because they believe their show is for everyone. So they'll say something like, my show is for children 3 to 15, or 4 to adult, or, 6 to teenager. And right away, people in the animation business, especially in television, will know that those kind of really aren't real numbers because an actual target audience means that you are specifically aiming the storytelling, the cognitive appropriateness, and really the maturity of a show to a certain age target. So know what an actual age target is, know what an actual demographic is, and make sure that you state that narrow band of where you're aiming. And to give you some example, a show that is, you know, infant to 3-year-old, or kind of like 18 months to 3-year-old, is much different than a preschool show that is 2 to 5, which is much different than a bridge show, which is 4 to 7, which is much different than a young kids show, which is 6 to 9, as opposed to a general kids show, which is 6 to 11, as opposed to a preteen show, which is like 8 to 14, or a preteen show, or a teen show, or an adult show, etc., etc., etc. And I'm not even talking about the split between, girl appealing and boy appealing and toy collectible and educational and STEAM and stream, etc. So anyway, a very common mistake is to try to overstate your audience or not state that at all. Whatever you do, make sure you do the work, do the research, and find out exactly the narrow band of what your target audience is. All right, another very common mistake I see in pitches and proposals is overstating your mission and putting that in front of the entertainment. So hey, I am with you guys. Everything I do in this world, especially for cartoons, I hope tries to make the world a little bit better place, to make kids and grown-ups stronger, kinder, more empathic. I want shows that help save the environment. I want shows that put less plastic into the world. We all have these missions that we come to and make shows that we're driven to make, and I believe in them just like everybody else does. But here's the problem. When you put that mission too far in front of the entertainment, you kind of miss the point of what kids especially want to watch. They want to watch entertainment. They want to be entertained. They want to have a good time. Parents and teachers and buyers, of course, have agendas and they want to have missions in there. That's important. But if you switch the order of that, if you put the mission too far ahead, right away buyers are going to sense that this is not going to probably be a show that their target audience will want to watch. And right away, you're kind of losing the idea of what it is to make a fun and exciting and accessible cartoon for people around the world. So have your mission, have your entertainment, make sure you put it in the right order, and don't make the mistake of putting the mission in front of the entertainment. Okay, a big, very common mistake I see in pitches and proposals is not understanding the difference between a clear log line, a strong one pager, a presentation that is made for a pitch, and a leave behind Bible that is made for a read it after we're done. So these are very specific pockets of deliverables. And I think a lot of people confuse them as one very mass thing. So they have one pitch, which is going to be for everybody, and it's 30 pages, and it's got all my character descriptions, and it's got all my episode synopsis, and it's got all my world building, all my consumer products ideas, all my research, everything about me. And I'm going to try to pitch that over and over again. Well, see, that's usually not going to work in different environments because there's going to be the elevator pitch, which is, what is my quick thing to tell people what this is about? There's going to be the one pager, which they have a little bit more time. There's going to be the presentation, which is really like the live performance that you do either in person or on Zoom. And then there's the big thing that people want to read if they really like your stuff. So when you're developing your show, when you're developing your concept, make sure you have each of these very, very clear because as you go into the environment of pitching and presenting to a lot of different people, it's always going to be a different amount of time per person. It's always going to be a different kind of scenario. It's always going to be a very specific personality. And you've got to read that very quickly and you've got to have the right type of presentation ready for that audience and that moment. So again, a big mistake I see is people trying to create one master presentation and walking around instead of creating the micro presentations or the categorized presentations that are more appropriate for the moment that you need to pitch. All right, the last common mistake I see in pitches and presentation requires a little bit more nuance to go into, and that is the difference between authority and authenticity. So let's first talk about the authority part. So whenever you're pitching or presenting an idea, you as the talent, you as the company, you as the person is always going to be the authority on your subject matter. And authority sometimes means you just have decades of experience in that genre. Or, I am the author of the original work. Or my company and I have already succeeded in this kind of show and presentation. So that authority is brought forward as most of the pitch. So in other words, you could have a very simple idea, almost a couple sentences of an idea. But if you're an award-winning, celebrated producer, director, writer, author, the weight of that authority is so strong that the pitch doesn't need to actually hold that much because people trust that you can do that. Now, what happens when you're a newer creator or you're new to the field, you don't have necessarily authority. You have authenticity. Now, authenticity is a wholly different thing, which means this is a unique perspective that I, as a person or an individual, am uniquely qualified to tell because it is either a pre-built into the personality that I'm presenting. Like, for example, if it's a comedy and the person who's presenting is simply just the funniest person you've ever met, or it's a subject matter that I've spent either, decades of my life or life experience has kind of taught me to put this message out, or it makes me super informed in order to express this kind of worldview that I'm going for. Or it's simply, I'm an ingenue, and this screenplay that I'm presenting is done by me, and it's so good that it gives me authenticity. Now, this authority and authenticity can sometimes be confused and or placed in the wrong order. So a lot of people will come to the presentation, they're a newer player in the field, and they're having this idea out there, but they want to be the showrunner and the director and the writer, and they want to be in charge of everything, but they don't have the authority behind that, but yet they put their name onto it as if it has to be part of the equation. So that's a confusion of the idea. On the flip side, here's someone or a company or a person with a lot of authority, but because they've maybe done it so much in this genre, because maybe they've almost been in the industry so long that they kind of just are just repeating themselves, you suddenly don't have authenticity because there's no freshness and originality to that idea because, hey, it's the creators of this show you already know doing another show that's kind of similar to that. So I think a mistake I see is that people want to put authority or authenticity kind of in the wrong place at the wrong moment. So again, a common mistake I see is to put it in the wrong place, but the correction is know when to bring your authority, know when to bring your authenticity, and know how to sell each of those at the right moment in time. Okay, that's all I got for you today. It's again my most listicle YouTube of YouTube episodes. I hope you got something out of that. I know a lot of you who watch this channel are about to head to Kidscreen, also about to head into the year of sales and presentations. of your original ideas. I hope this video will help you not make some of the most common mistakes that I see, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.